Monopoly is a market form where we have a single producer selling a unique product for which there is no close substitute in the market. And because of this, there are strong barriers to entry. Since there is only one firm in the whole industry, there is no difference between firm and industry under monopoly. The level up to which monopolists can increase the price depends upon the elasticity of demand. Degree of monopoly power or control over price is inversely related to elasticity of demand. When we divide market form into two parts, perfect competition and imperfect competition, monopoly comes as another extreme market form under imperfect competition. About other monopoly form with relatively less degree of imperfections, namely duopoly, oligopoly, and monopolistic competition, will be discussed under subsequent chapters. There are many reasons for the emergence of monopoly. It also explains the types of monopoly. Because of control by the single producer over basic or strategic raw materials, this power is acquired by the monopolist. Now, since the availability of these basic or strategic inputs is available in only few places, few areas, few localities, this type of monopoly is called as local monopoly or regional monopoly. Small size of market is another reason for the emergence of monopoly. Sometimes the size of market or technology is such that output of only one form of optimum size will be sufficient to meet the demand of the whole market. This is on account of advantages of large scale production that enables reduction in the cost. Heavy investment also constitutes a deterring force the entry of the new firms. This important cause responsible for the emergence and growth of monopoly leads to not natural monopoly because it is the result of natural forces in a given situation of the market. Patents, copyrights, and licenses. In many situations, legal backing is provided by the government to produce a particular product through patents, copyrights, trademarks, license, and quota. These rights are protected by the law against imitation by the rival producers. The right to use the invention can be sold through licensing for a limited period. This type of monopoly is termed as legal monopoly because of the legal support monopolist gets from the government. Limit pricing. Many times existing firm adopts a policy to reduce the price, to limit the price, or to charge a less price, for which heavy expenditure may be incurred on advertisement. Product differentiation can also be used to prevent entry of the potential firms. So this type of monopoly is termed as limit pricing monopoly. Public utilities like transportation, electricity, water, communication are essential services are generally under the monopoly of the government to avoid possible exploitation of the consumers. So this type of monopoly is called as public monopoly since it is basically used for social welfare purpose. It is also called as social or welfare monopoly. Monopolistic combinations. It is possible for competing firms to come to an agreement to eliminate competition in respect of price, output, and market share. It is called as voluntary monopoly since firms producing the same product come together through merger and amalgamation to earn more profits. Acquisition of one firm by the other may be another possibility. Fiscal monopoly. There are certain monopolies which are created by the government, like printing of currency notes, stamps, minting of coins. This type of monopoly is called as fiscal monopoly. Now let us study about price and output decisions under monopoly. Figure 14.1 shows the way price is determined under monopoly. Here demand curve AR and marginal revenue MR both are downward sloping. Marginal cost curve being a U-shaped curve in general cuts marginal revenue curve at 2 points, namely E naught and E. Any production taking place up to point E naught will lead to more addition in revenue than addition to the cost. Rather, it is the other way. It will be leading to more addition in cost than addition in the revenue. So every unit produced up to OQ naught level of output will cause losses to the monopolist. But for any level of output produced between point E naught and E, addition to cost or marginal cost is less in comparison to addition to revenue, that is marginal revenue. So such units produced will bring profits to the monopolist. Loss area has been shown by dark black color, while gray area indicates profit. In case area in gray color is more than the area in black, there will be net profit to the monopolist. Whereas when black area is more than gray area, there will be losses to the monopolist. And in case both areas are equal to each other, there will be no profit, no loss at point E. So all the three possibilities may be there at point E, profits, loss, or no profit, no loss. But when production is continued beyond point E, again marginal cost will exceed marginal revenue. That is, addition to cost will be more than addition to revenue. There will be loss from every additional unit produced beyond OQ level of output. So there is no point in producing beyond OQ level of output. And further, we must remember that E is the point of equilibrium, though MC is cutting MR at 2 points, E naught and E. So necessary condition is satisfied for profit maximization at both the points E naught and E. But sufficiency condition is satisfied only at point E. At point E naught, there will invariably be losses. But at point E, there will either be maximum profits or minimum losses, or it can be break-even point. That is no profit, no loss. Student must kindly note that E naught is not a break-even point, though for particular unit produced brings no profit, no loss, but in total, there are losses when we produce at point E naught. And E can be a possible point of break-even point. Break-even point can also lie between points E naught and E. Because break-even point is a point where total cost is equal to total revenue, that means net profit is zero. Short-run equilibrium of monopoly firm. A monopolist gets maximum profits when average cost curve is below price, as you can see in figure 14.3. Here total revenue will be OP into OQ, that is price multiplied by output at equilibrium. Total cost will be equal to per unit cost CQ into output, that is OQ. The difference shown by the shaded area is profit, which is area of rectangle PBCD. In figure 14.2, there are losses. Here average cost curve is above price line. There is loss per unit equal to BC, and total losses are equal to BC multiplied by PB, that is area of the rectangle PBCD. In figure 14.4, average cost curve passes through average revenue curve at point B. Here price OP or BQ is equal to per unit cost. So there is no profit, no loss. Or the firm under consideration is earning only normal profits. Long run equilibrium of monopoly firm. Long run equilibrium of the monopolist is shown in figure 14.5. where long run marginal cost curve cuts marginal revenue curve at point E. At the point of equilibrium, BC is profit per unit and equilibrium output is OQ or CD. Total profits of the monopolist are shown by shaded area PBCD. We can notice that unlike the case of perfect competition, monopolists can continue to earn abnormal profits even in the long period because there are strong barriers to entry. So profits are not wiped out in the long run in the case of monopoly. Further, unlike the case of perfect competition, monopolist generally operates with the excess capacity that is on falling portion of long run average cost. In this figure, we can find that QQ1 amount of output is excess capacity, which is the difference between ideal capacity and actual utilization. That means per unit cost is minimum corresponding to OQ1 level of output, but the monopolist is producing OQ output level. So it is a case of suboptimal plant. In exceptional cases, monopolists operating at the minimum point of LAC can also be possible, and that happens when minimum point of LAC coincides with the equilibrium point. So here there will not be any excess capacity and there will also be abnormal profits. But we can notice that under perfect competition, excess capacity is not there. Rather, abnormal profits are not there, but excess capacity is also absent. Monopolist equilibrium with zero marginal cost. In exceptional situations, cost of production may be zero, though that can be generally true in the case of theory also, or theory only. Such situation is depicted in figure 14.6, where average revenue and marginal revenue curve both are downward sloping. The equilibrium point is at Q where MC cuts MR. MC is coinciding with x-axis. Equilibrium price is OP and equilibrium quantity is OQ. Total revenue is price into quantity, that is OP into OQ. Since total cost is zero, total revenue is same as total profit, which is given by the area OPBQ. We must also remember that like any producer, no monopolist will ever operate on the inelastic portion of the demand curve, which is below B point in figure 14.6, corresponding to which MR is negative. The equilibrium condition MR equal to MC cannot be satisfied by operating on the inelastic portion that is below B point because cost can never be negative, though MR can be negative. Concept of supply curve under monopoly. We all know that competitive firm has a unique relationship between price and quantity supplied. The portion of marginal cost or long run marginal cost, as the case may be above, long run average cost or average variable costs in long and short period respectively is the supply curve of the competitive firm. But in the case of monopoly, we do not have any unique supply curve. The reason is monopolist can sell the same quantity of output, say OQ, at to different prices, say OP1 and OP2 as shown in figure 14.7, depending upon the elasticity of demand. So the market with the low elasticity of demand, higher price OP2 will be charged, and the market with high elasticity of demand, lower price OP1 will be charged. Similarly, for monopolists, it can also be possible that for different quantities, same price may be charged as shown in figure 14.8. Here for OQ1 as well as OQ2 quantity, same price is being charged. So we find that there is no unique relationship between the price and quantity under monopoly. So there is no possibility of having a unique supply curve for the monopolist. Now let us discuss the equilibrium of multi-plant monopolist. So far we have been discussing about equilibrium of monopolist operating with a single plant with specific cost but there is a possibility that monopolist may operate with two plants A and B having different cost structures, as shown in figure 14.9 A and B respectively. In order to get the equilibrium of monopolist in that case, we have to use same marginal cost, marginal revenue equality condition. Now, since objective of every producer, including monopolist, is to maximize the overall profits, we have to horizontally add up the individual marginal cost curves for the two plants, MCA and MCB, to get marginal cost, MC. And this is done in the third part of this figure, 14.9. The point where MC curve and MR curve intersect each other give us the equilibrium, which is point E. Corresponding to this equilibrium, we can also find equilibrium for the two individual market segments, rather for two individual plants A and B, by drawing a line segment parallel to x-axis from point E. And this line segment will be meeting the respective marginal cost curves of the two plants at point EA and EB respectively. And this is how we will get the equilibrium of the two plants. And corresponding to these two equilibrium points, we can find out the profits from the two plants. For the first plant, the profit will be given by total revenue minus total cost. Total revenue is OPBQA. Total cost will be area ODCQA. So shaded area, which is rectangular form PBCD, is giving us profit from the first plant. Similarly, profit from the second plant will be given by the rectangular area PFGH, which is again the difference between total revenue and total cost, OPFQB and OHGQB. And this is also shown by shaded area PFGH. The sum of the areas from the two plants will be equal to the total profit of the monopolist shown in the third part, which is also equal to the difference between total revenue and total cost. That is area under marginal revenue curve minus area under marginal cost curve. It is also shown in shaded form. We must remember that equilibrium condition is satisfied for the first plant, MCA is equal to MR. Equilibrium condition is also satisfied for the second plant, MCB is equal to MR. And overall equilibrium condition is also satisfied as shown by third part of this figure, MC is equal to MR. So the combined equilibrium condition is MCA is equal to MCB is equal to MC is equal to MR. In case equality is not ensured, that MCA is not equal to MCB, say MCA is more than MCB, then the monopolist should produce more in the second plant, which will increase the marginal cost from the second plant, and ultimately this equilibrium condition will be satisfied.